Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started, and we begin tonight with the forecast because things are about to get hot. We are expecting temperatures in the triple digits this week, and that hot weather is expected to last several days. Let's get right outside to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. And Jeremy, what do we need to know about this heat wave?
Well, Mark, it's basically here. Today, the coolest day we'll see in at least the next 5, and it's still pretty warm outside. 85 degrees currently. That is right. Your eyes aren't fooling you. We are still in the 80s, and that's going to be the kicker the next few days. It's those temperatures just not cooling down even as the sun goes down. Across the region, excessive heat warnings remain in effect through 11 p.m. on Friday. Now, these will start at about 11 a.m. tomorrow. Widespread currently in place are those heat advisories, and that is for just how warm it is. But here you go. Early tomorrow morning looks to be the coolest we will be in at least the next 5 or 6 days. Not until early next week do we see temperatures return into the 60s, but we are warm and staying that way. By tomorrow morning, we dip into the 60s. By tomorrow afternoon, temperatures soar to up near 100 degrees, and that kicks off the heat wave. Coming up in the full forecast, I'll break down how warm we get and how long it sticks around.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. As the heat wave rolls through the region, the city of Spokane is increasing the hours of 4 of its libraries to help residents stay cool. So it'll expand the hours from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m., offering an air-conditioned space to cool down. But some homeless advocates say the city's plan will not reach the most vulnerable in the community.
I wish the city had coordinated with social service providers, with medical providers. Those folks know who is at risk, and they're not necessarily going to be looking for help.
Barry Barfield with the Spokane Homeless Coalition says last year's plan for cooling centers included documents listing cooling resources available and transportation to those facilities. But this year, he says that list is much shorter. We'll have more on the city's plan coming up in just about 10 minutes. In Spokane Valley, Mullen Road Bridge officially back open today. Last week, WashDOT said the road was supposed to reopen on Friday, but some morning rain on Friday delayed crews from being able to seal the bridge deck. Crews have been working on repairing that bridge ever since May. Meantime, nearby, drivers also got a chance to use the Argonne exit again. That exit had been closed to eastbound drivers while road construction was completed. WashDOT says it should provide a much smoother ride for years to come. Well, tonight we have learned that Chick-fil-A may be coming to Spokane South Hill. 4G Development and Consulting submitted the application to the city to build the Chick-fil-A on 29th and Regal Streets across from the KFC and A&W restaurant. In the application, the company says its plan is to demolish existing buildings on the site to make room for the nearly 5,000 square foot building. It would include 90 dining room seats, an indoor playground, and a 2-lane drive-through. The construction is estimated to cost about $3 million. Now, to be clear, this is far from a done deal. Right now, no permits have been applied for, and there is no construction timeline or opening date. And that was your night beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000, and we'll send them directly to your phone.
All right, that passes 4-2. We're not going to do open forum, so we're adjourned until next Monday.
Well, after several hours of public comment tonight, the Spokane City Council voted 4-2 on a resolution supporting a woman's access to abortion services in Spokane. The resolution, sponsored by Council President Breanne Beggs, prohibits city resources from being used to assist in the investigation of women coming to Spokane to get an abortion. Outside of City Hall, a crowd of demonstrators who support abortion access gathered in support of the resolution. Meantime, inside council chambers, the majority of people who spoke tonight during the public comment period were opposed to the resolution. Now, to be clear, tonight's vote is a resolution. That means it's non-binding and more of an expression of the City Council's position on an issue. It's not an ordinance, which is legislation that would change current law or policies. So here is some of what both sides had to say tonight.
And thank goodness I had my son, because he's 25 years old today. He's a productive member of society. And if I had killed him, I wouldn't have been able to live with myself.
Our state already has blood on its hands because of the stance of this issue, of the taking away of innocent lives. Please don't let blood be on this council's hands also.
We have to keep it safe and legal. Otherwise, it becomes deadly. Let's keep this out of the coroner's office.
And this resolution is a welcome response to a national healthcare crisis that is unfolding and that is greatly impacting Spokane.
The resolution comes as several states, including Idaho, moved to make most abortions illegal following the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Representatives with Planned Parenthood of Greater Spokane and North Idaho say, as it stands right now, more than 40% of abortion care patients at their Spokane Valley Clinic are from Idaho. In some national news, a scary moment at the Dallas airport when a woman pulled out a gun and fired a round into the air. The suspect was then shot by police. She's now in custody, but no one else was hurt. Police say the suspect went into a bathroom near the Southwest ticket counter, changed her clothes, and when she came out, shot at the ceiling. Now, some witnesses say she was yelling about her husband's affair just before she started firing. The shooting caused hundreds of flight delays and dozens of cancellations as the Federal Aviation Administration issued a ground stop for about 3 hours today. In some international news, Pope Francis issued a historic apology for the Catholic Church's role in forcing more than 150,000 native children from their homes in an attempt to strip them of their language and their culture. Speaking in Spanish, he told them this was a disastrous error, incompatible with the doctrine of Jesus Christ. He went on to ask for their forgiveness for the evil committed against them by so many Christians. At the end of the Pope's address, he returned a pair of moccasins given to him by native leaders who urged the visit. The Pope says the moccasins left him feeling sorrowful but determined to begin a journey of healing. The World Health Organization now says monkeypox is a public health emergency of international concern. The White House says the U.S. is still considering an emergency declaration of its own. The CDC reports there are nearly 3,000 confirmed monkeypox cases nationwide, and that includes 2 new cases in children, likely the result of household transmission. According to health officials, meanwhile, a group of 50 House Democrats want the administration to declare a public health emergency in order to accelerate vaccine delivery. Well, in other news, prices on just about everything are high right now, and the impact on local families is severe. Food, fuel, and housing are all putting a strain on people and the agencies that serve their needs. KREM 2 is actively working with Second Harvest and the Food Bank right now, getting ready for this year's Tom's Turkey Drive. It may seem early, but with the extra costs and challenges, we need the time and support of the community in order to be prepared. With the rising cost of most food, including turkeys, we wanted to talk about the plans for the event. With so much donated products from Fran's Bakery and local farmers, we'll have stuffing, potatoes, and rolls. Also, Second Harvest has secured cans of green beans and pears. Washington Dairy Farmers and Dairy Gold will be supplying the milk, a popular item at local food banks. The turkeys have also already been ordered, so the centerpiece of the meal will be in the Tom's Turkey Drive bags, but turkey prices are expected to be up dramatically.
The planning is different because of the increased cost of the food. We know that, and the 11,000 turkeys is secured. We're going to have birds this year, but they probably are 30% higher in cost per pound per bird. And when you're talking 11,000 different birds, that adds up to be a lot of money.
So to keep up with the rising costs and to make sure we can serve the 11,000 families for Tom's Turkey Drive, we have posted the donation link on KREM.com. We are working hard to keep the Tom's Turkey Drive bags at $20 so that our community can continue to support a favorite holiday tradition. We realize it is summer, but we are already talking Tom's Turkey Drive. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. But don't go to bed just yet. As the extreme heat settles in, we go more in-depth into what the city of Spokane is doing to provide an escape from the heat for those who are most vulnerable. Plus, college football almost here. A little later, our sports team breaks down what you need to know about the Eastern and Idaho seasons. Coming up after the break. We're back in just 90 seconds.